you'll always think that there's gonna be a better time, that right now is not the time to do it. This is your sign to go and do it. Hi guys, welcome to my in-between era episode 6. So as you might know, I have been kind of MIA on here for a little while, and that's because I have taken a very needed break from London life, social media, and just kind of took the time to spend some quality time with my loved ones and also have a think about what's next for me. So for today's episode, I thought we'll do kind of a really quick catch up whilst I do my makeup. So as you may or may not know, my name is Daga. I'm 27 on a daily basis. I live in London and recently I lost my job, and this series is kind of me figuring out what's next and what I want to do next with my life. So like I said, I really needed a little bit of that time and that space to kind of figure out what I actually like about my life, what I actually hate about my life, even if the job that I had most recently is something that I want to continue doing. So yeah, I've decided to visit my family and kind of spend some quality time with them, because I feel like last year I didn't have opportunity to do that, and I also just needed kind of like a change of scenery and just be somewhere where I feel safe and I don't feel that pressure of like I need to act now, I need to figure out what I am doing. I've been in Poland for a couple of days. It definitely did me some good because there is just not much like pressure and kind of the rush as well. That just made me feel like I finally have space to sort of deal with all the emotions and all the thoughts I've been having about what do I do now, where do I go from here. And I think that's been the most important part to me, having that space to think about everything that I've been wanting to do for the longest time. Like I have multiple things that I've been putting off, multiple projects that I wanted to start but I've been putting off, either because of some changes or because I didn't think this will be a good time to take a risk, or simply because I did not feel confident enough. So some of the things that I've been kind of putting aside were content creation and social media and just sharing my thoughts out there. I got as close to it as I could because I actually worked with creators as part of my job, but I've never actually allowed myself to post things and actually be vulnerable on social media. And I feel like this is exactly what has happened once I lost my job a few weeks ago. I have to say it's definitely something that makes you get out of your comfort zone, but it's the good kind. So it essentially gave me that push to just create the content and post what I feel like posting and like sharing. And usually those would be the things that I would generally share with my friends over voice notes or over a cup of coffee. So this is exactly what I am doing right now, putting myself out there, talking about my feelings, plans, how I'm gonna get there, and we'll see how that works out. Because I'm not gonna lie, I am 2 years away from being 30 and it scares me where I am because that's not where I expected to be. I want to make sure that I'm doing everything in my power to get to the point where I want to be in the next year or two. And so I decided that this is something that I want to try and do kind of part-time at the moment whilst I'm looking for another job, just because I always loved looking over like someone's journey towards something. So I just thought creating that series and creating that TikTok account and sharing all my findings and all the hardships, but also the kind of learning points, the growth, is just something I want to share on the internet. So I decided I'm just gonna post it on here. Like the whole series of me being in my in-between era is essentially just about me trying to figure out what's next for me and trying to kind of also find a job. I just thought, why not create a content about it and just share it? There is so many of us who are going through exactly the same thing right now, and why would I not share my story? Perhaps it's gonna go help someone who is just in the beginning of that experience, and perhaps it's gonna motivate someone else to make some changes that they've been putting aside like I did for so many years. I have no idea what is coming next, but I am sure that I am gonna go after what I've been dreaming about for so long, because I feel like this is the best time for me to take that risk. And always, if something ends, it's because something better is coming in. But I do also believe that you always need to give it your own push. So if you have something that you've been dreaming about, or something that you're passionate about and you've been putting it off for some time, this is your sign to go and do it. You'll always think that there's gonna be a better time, that right now is not the time to do it. But trust me, if you're thinking about it, this is the time to do it. So this is me publicly stating that I am actually gonna go after my dreams. I think you can expect a little bit more videos on here about the journey that is ahead of me and what is going on in my in-between era, following my dreams and taking the risk and trying it out. So I do hope to see you all follow along, and I'll see you in the next episode.